Put aside all of the issues of what political implications a rally has and just put that aside and look at it purely in the context of public health. We know that that is asking for trouble when you do that. We've seen that when you have situations of congregate settings where there are a lot of people without masks. The data speak for themselves.
And with that warning from Dr. Anthony Fauci, cue President Trump's rally in Florida yesterday. Everybody squished together. Governor Ron DeSantis high-fiving multiple people and then wiping his nose. I mean, it was an utter medical mess.
Well, it could be, of course, for a state that many fear is going to become a hot spot. Anthony Fauci, well, in the numbers. We don't need doctors to tell us what numbers show us, and that is that we're getting new cases and a real fear among medical health care experts that we're exploding into another terrible time. And, you know, really, I was watching last night as Ron DeSantis, the governor of this state, who's supposed to be setting an example, which, of course, he hasn't from the very beginning, was going through the crowd, high-fiving, you know, wiping his nose, high-fiving people and everything. I thought back to images of these troubling regimes that came in turbulent times. You know, you see those old black and white films of these crowds, of these mobs, and you wonder what planet did they come from? And then you realize, as you're watching it in real time, that they're from my home state.
Yeah.
And I am quite confident, not 50 years from now or 20 years from now, but 5 years from now, people are going to look back on that scene and go, what the hell were they thinking? They have grandparents. They have older mom and dads. They have kids with underlying conditions. What were they thinking? What was the governor thinking? What was the president of the United States thinking? What point was Mark Meadows trying to prove yesterday? What point was Mike Lee trying to prove yesterday? What point was Lindsey Graham trying to prove yesterday? We can pity them. I feel sorry for them.
Worried for their families and friends and colleagues.
I fear for their friends. I fear for their grandparents. But it's inexplicable.
Well, it starts at the top. President Trump has said from the beginning of this that he thinks masks are weird. He doesn't like to wear them. He hasn't shown any willingness to enforce social distancing, despite what everyone around him has said. And if you look at that scene last night, when you put those pictures up and take a look at it, that could have been a scene from a year ago when we didn't know anything about COVID-19 before it existed. It could have been a scene from 8 months ago when we didn't know how bad it could be. And it could have been a scene from before President Trump. Yes, President Trump himself contracted coronavirus. Remember, there was some talk that perhaps when he was diagnosed with coronavirus, there might be some humility from him, that going through this experience would show him how serious coronavirus was. Well, my God, there he is, standing on stage, 11 days after his diagnosis of coronavirus, no masks, no social distancing, about 7,000 people in Florida gathered, standing and cheering, following his lead. And here's what the president said up on that stage last night about how close he actually wanted to get to his supporters.
And we got to remember, I said it right at the beginning, the cure cannot be worse than the problem itself. Can't. The cure cannot be worse. But if you don't feel good about it, if you want to stay, stay. Relax, stay. But if you want to get out there, get out. One thing with me, the nice part, I went through it. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that audience. I'll walk in there. I'll kiss everyone in that audience. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and everybody. I'll just give you a big fat kiss. No, but there is something nice. I don't have to be locked up in my basement, and I wouldn't allow that to happen anyway. I wouldn't allow it to happen. When you're the president, you can't lock yourself in a basement and say, I'm not going to bother with the world. You got to get out, and it's risky. It's risky, but you got to get out. But it does give you a good feeling when you can beat something, and now they say you're immune. I don't know for how long. Some people say for life. Some people say for 4 months. I mean, every time I think about it, every time I hear them, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter because they want it to be as bad as possible.
He wants to go out in the crowd and give out big fat kisses. While the president was saying that at a crowded rally in Florida, here's what Dr. Fauci, one of the world's leading experts on infectious diseases, was telling Shep Smith on CNBC.
If we don't change and make masks mostly universal in America, what are we facing this fall and winter?
I think we're facing a whole lot of trouble. We would like to see the percent positivity be coming down. And unfortunately, if you look at the states of the country, the Midwest, the Northwest, the states that you mentioned, including Iowa, instead of seeing it go in the other direction, down, we're seeing an increase in test positivity.
So, Joe, a tale of two pandemics there. President Trump out with a big crowd, no mask, saying, I want to come out and kiss you, I want to hug you, you've got to get out, it's risky, but you've got to do it. And then obviously a more sober and informed analysis from Dr. Fauci.
Gosh.
Well, and of course, Donald Trump in the rally, mocking scientists,
The example in
mocking
chief.
doctors, saying, oh, some say it's you're immune for life. Nobody says that. Donald,
In
why
fact-
are you lying to your people? Nobody says that. Nobody said you're immune for life. Nobody said you're immune for years. You know, I was told by a doctor a couple of months ago, immunity will last probably 3 months. That was my personal doctor. That wasn't somebody at Johns Hopkins. That wasn't somebody from the best institutions in the world. Said immunity is about 3-4 months. And of course, the studies are showing the immunity is about 3 or 4 months. And so you have Donald Trump saying that science is trying to make this sound as bad as possible. It's just, again, the example is just absolutely horrific. We're
Science
going
is
into the
guiding
fall.
us.
The numbers are going up.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.